Hello and welcome to Epiphanies with Alango. We have got our favorite guest here, Scott Harsany. Scott, welcome back.
Thank you. Happy New Year. I'm glad to be here again.
Thank you very much, Scott. Happy New Year to you and to all our listeners and viewers. We've got a very interesting subject we're going to speak about today. How do we secure our lives and our electronic lives? And we're going to keep this in 3 episodes, episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3, because we've got a lot to share, but we only have 7 or 10 minutes of your attention. You're looking wonderful in your blue and red and your Texas colors.
I know I just need some blue rimmed glasses and I would be all set. So I'm trying to fit the theme here. So hopefully it's not too bright on your side.
Yeah, this is perfect. It depends on how good our session is. We could get some of our listeners to send you a blue rimmed glass with those stars on top.
There you go. There you go.
So, Scott, for today's subject, I'd like to speak about security. And I know you've got this burnished credentials of building the security layer in the most unsecure area or most unthought of area. But we're going to, in the hardware stack, but we're going to speak a little more simpler, commonplace stuff. A big challenge today, given the ubiquitousness of data, and that everybody and their uncle and their aunt is harvesting anything that you do out there. And the fact that there's vulnerability at every corner. I mean, just this morning I got a message saying, hey, your Google sign-in is telling you that there are 1 or 2 of your sign-ins that have been compromised. Go change it. Now, I don't really know if that is true or somebody's trying to phishing me, right? So great background. So I'd love to hear from you on your point of view on securing ourselves in our personal lives and some thoughts around it.
Sure. I think it's so important now with especially many people around the world working from home. There's a lot more data on your home computer. You're connecting to weird networks. You're Zooming, you're Citrixing, you're doing all sorts of things. And so it is very important. I think the biggest thing I would recommend to your viewers is, you need to do the next step of security. It's not as convenient. It's not as easy. But you need to do things like dual factor authentication and things like that, which we can talk about later. But if you get these things done, they're going to provide a significant uplift in your security. So that's why I think one other thing I'll add is I think many people don't understand simple security measures, right? My parents, for example, I say, hey, mom and dad, do you have your firewall turned on? And they tell me they didn't buy a firewall for their house. It didn't come with that, so they have to work through and make sure that people understand how to do certain things.
So Scott, just to keep it very simple, right? Let's start with where we spend most of our time on our mobile phones. Somebody says you access it, you pick it up at least 100 times or 200 times. God knows which research you read, and that's probably the most vulnerable aspect of our electronic lives, because you've got location tracking, you've got apps collecting data on you, you've got your browser collecting data, and it's on your person all the time. Can you tell our viewers and listeners a few ideas on how we can secure our phone? Very simply, remember, we're not all of us are at the same security and technology level as you. So keep it simple for us, Scott.
Absolutely. No, well, one of the big things that I know a lot of my colleagues and a lot of people don't do is have a password or have a login to your phone. I can't tell you the number of people that have lost their phone and their phone didn't lock. So someone would get a hold of it and they're able to place Amazon orders or do those sort of things. So make sure you have a password, and everyone should know how to do the password. And I know people using the face recognition password. Make sure you have that enabled. A lot of people don't. I think there's some very easy settings. If you're roaming through a store or you're walking through an airport, the phone wants to try to connect to any network it can find. And there's some convenient settings that will allow it to connect. But I think I would advise, your users turn that off, because what happens is, if I'm a bad guy and I want to sit in an airport, I can broadcast a little Wi-Fi, and as you walk by, your phone's going to connect to me for 2 minutes, and while you're connected, I can potentially get on your phone and see what's going on your phone, steal some of your contacts, steal maybe other things from your phone. So I would make sure in your Wi-Fi settings, turn off some of these automatically connect to Wi-Fi hotspots feature when you see it. Those are two simple ones that will really do a large amount. The other one I would say is Bluetooth. The biggest thing that hackers use today is Bluetooth. Bluetooth is a very easy protocol. I went to a Black Hat seminar in Las Vegas, and of the 800 people attending this one session, they had a Bluetooth thing set up at the front door, and about 780 people were attacked. Luckily, it was a fake attack, but 780 people that walked through the door had their phones hacked by this little device that was sitting by the door as you walked in. So that just shows you, even people who are in the security business, if you don't have the right settings, you're going to get attacked. So turn off your Bluetooth to automatically connect, turn off your Wi-Fi to automatically connect, and make sure you have a password.
Excellent. So maybe, Scott, I think passcode, Wi-Fi connect, Bluetooth, maybe it's a good idea. And I know, I don't know that www.texas-act.com, is that your website?
Yes, that's my website. And we have some tips out there as well. But yes, there's a lot of good things you can do. I know we talk about, if you've got your 401k, you've got all the apps on there. It makes it really easy to check in on your 401k each day. But just remember, almost everything you're looking at on that screen, somebody else could be looking at that as well. So I can talk about some other ways to secure that later on in the talk.
Yeah, I think for our listeners, look up www.texas-act.com. I haven't seen the website, but knowing Scott, I'm sure he's got some great ideas there on how to get this going. I'll actually add one more to the mobile phone piece, which is the location tracking. And I figured that out. One of the things that I do now is I go back and check which apps have access to location tracking. And as much as possible, which is always, take away the option which says always. I only use one while using the app, and that's something that listeners may want to look at. Because at the end of the day, it's about your passcode, your location, and access, physical access, right? And if you're able to take those off, you're limiting the opportunities.
That's right. No, that's a very good ad. Very good ad.
Thank you very much for listening into episode 1. Scott, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you again next week on episode 2.
Thank you very much.